Hello, everyone. We we are we are officially live. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Evil Shemps. I am just one of your illustrious co-hosts, Pete the Pope, and with me tonight, as always, is my good friend Dominic Pouchet, or as I also like to call him, Spaz. How you doing tonight, Spaz? Are you excited,
Hello.
man? Get
I'm
excited. Are you
doing
excited?
great. I am excited.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Show me that excitement,
You smell
baby.
what I'm cooking?
Oh, I smell it, and I'm loving it. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So, as you may have seen on our post tonight, we're talking about Kevin Smith, but something happened yesterday. Something very exciting for me, at least. We got the official full trailer for my most anticipated movie of the year, Terrifier 3. And I have seen the trailer. I've watched it quite a few times now. But Dominic has not seen it yet. So we are going
Nope,
to do
not the
a
new one.
no, so we are going to do a quick reaction. This will be everyone, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, we'll here it is. Let's all check it out. Just give me a second, because Twitch likes to be I mean, Discord likes to be stupid. All right. All right. Here we go, everyone.
He
All right.
survived the most famous
Not
serial killer
bad.
since Jack the Ripper. The 5-year anniversary is coming up. I think a lot of people would really like to hear from you after all this time. Want to know what it's like to be in the presence of that kind of evil. What goes through your brain when he's close enough to you. You feel his breath.
Oh boy.
I saw him today.
Who? How can you be sure it was really him?
I could feel it.
Who is this Santa? He's scaring my kid.
Yeah, he's scaring me too.
Hey, Santa's handing out presents!
Oh yeah.
Got a
Why would he come back here? Even if he was alive, which he isn't. Wouldn't you want to get as far away from here as possible, as far away from you?
We both know this isn't over.
Oh goody.
I have to go back to the Terrifier.
It's still buried there, isn't it?
It might be the only thing that can stop them. Looking forward to the
Jericho.
best Christmas ever, filled with fun, smiles, and laughter.
God damn it, I love art. Oh my god, I am so fucking excited, Spaz. I can't even begin to express how excited I am for this fucking movie, man. You're gonna have to hose me down now
Oh
after watching
yeah.
that trailer, because I am hot and flustered. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Spaz, what are your thoughts?
Was that Chris Jericho I saw there in the trailer?
Yeah. He's at the end of the
Looked like
second
Chris
one.
Jericho.
He's at the end of the second one. He's in the
Right on.
after credits.
Oh yeah.
scene. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I am stoked because Christmas has come early for us horror fans.
That's right. That's
Mm.
right. Yes, my friend. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? That was just a little taste, just a little taste, a little tidbit, because I promise you, I do plan on seeing Terrifier 3 opening night on October 10th. And once I do and I get back from the theater, I will be coming on live. Hopefully Spaz can join me, but if not, we'll see. But I will
Most likely can. Most likely.
But I will be coming on live as soon as I get back from the theater to do a full extensive review of this film. So, with that out of the way, we got to get on to tonight's main topic. Tonight, Spaz and I are just going to discuss the illustrious career of a well-known filmmaker, one of our favorites, at least for at least for a certain period of time. I'm just kidding. I still love the guy. Still got a lot of love and respect for him.
Yep.
We are talking about the Kevin Smith. That's right. And with that being said, Dominic, please give it.
Yo.
The floor is yours. Give us some opening thoughts.
Okay, well, like I said, Kevin Smith is probably a little older than me, but not much. So I pretty much grew up watching him, or was an adult watching him. No, I couldn't say I related much to him because he comes from the East Coast, and I'm mostly from the West Coast, even though I was born in Michigan. But I relate to him because it's kind of the same generation. As far as his films go, I think he was a voice when we didn't know we needed.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of a Gen X voice.
Mm-hmm.
The first film is very dystopian. I'm not supposed to be here, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that. I like that. No, even though the world goes to crap in most of his movies, I mean, there's a couple where there's a happy ending, but most of the time it's not very good for the main characters.
Right. Yeah.
They still laugh about it and try to get through it. So that's my thoughts on Kevin Smith's films exactly. Maybe this can touch Peter a little bit more because you actually come from New Jersey and you relate more.
I was just about to say, Spaz, that was actually a perspective that I would like to bring because, yes, as you just mentioned, you saucy bitch, that I am from the Garden State, New Jersey. Yes, born and raised. I still live here. I'm here right now. I wish I wasn't, but I am. but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Growing up, being exposed to Kevin Smith's films, I always felt that other connection to them, and not just me, my friends as well. We all grew up watching Kevin Smith films as almost like a New Jersey rite of passage, if you will. It's like his films are very Jersey based. They all take place pretty much all of them take place in New Jersey. All the characters are from New Jersey. A lot of the filming locations are like very close to like an hour away from me. Like the original Quick Stop is like an hour drive away from me. It's still there. It's still in Leonardo, New Jersey. I have visited it. I've been there. I've been to his comic book store in Red Bank and did all that shit. So yeah, growing up watching those movies, it always almost felt like I was watching a movie with my friends in it. Because it was like we always really identified with the characters in his films. And that was really us growing up in New Jersey, just a bunch of, fucking lost souls trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And, it really does touch on that deep place for me. And those are my overall thoughts on his first original films. So with all that being said, now I think, we should start discussing a little bit of the history of Kevin Smith. His upbringing. Spaz, why don't you go ahead?
Okay. So yeah, Kevin Smith, like I says, about 6 years older than I am. So he was born on August 2nd, 1970. Um,
Yep.
he was raised Catholic, which I believe both of us. Well, I was baptized Catholic, but yeah, we were both
I
had the
was
Catholic
too.
influence in our life.
Yeah.
hmm
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and I don't know how close Highland is to you, but he's from Highlands. I don't know
Yeah, it's about same.
exactly
Like
where
I
that
said, like
is in
about
New
an hour
Jersey.
away. About an hour away
hmm
from me, or so hour or so away from me. Yeah.
Yep. Some of the things that might be interesting about him is his father was a post worker and he hated his job, and he would always complain about it.
Yep.
And from a very young age, he promised himself, "I'm not gonna do something I don't love. It's not worth it."
Right.
So that's why he started pursuing movies and that kind of thing.
Right. It's like
So
Kevin
some of
Smith
the first
actually has
things
a
he
funny.
got,
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to interject real quick. Kevin
right?
Smith actually has a funny story about his dad in that regard, like how his dad was always like, "I hate doing this." He goes like, "Yeah, my dad would always said he hated doing things, but would just do them anyway." He would say how his dad would always make like this. They would get stray cats in her backyard all the time. So his dad would make like this big batch of food to give to the stray cats, but every time he would do it, he'd be like, "Fucking cats! I hate these cats! God damn it! I'm going fucking food." But he would just do it every night anyway, like out of like no
Yeah,
obligation. So I always thought that was fun, interesting little anecdote about his father. But go ahead, Spaz.
yeah, but yeah. Well, that is an anecdote that he shares a lot of them, and I really love him for that. He's very
Mm-hmm.
open and honest about things. So the first thing he kind of did as a teenager was he taped his high school's basketball games, and he produced sketch comedy for the high school drama.
Yeah.
I think is what he said.
Yeah, he
Um,
was in. He
some of
was
the
also in like he was in the acting group. He did musicals at the high school, and yeah, he would do little like comedy sketches for the talent show every year at his high school. Yeah,
yeah his comedy came very early because he had to grow up with being a little overweight as a child and uh, use comedy and observation
I can also relate with
to
that.
to well, not in the overweight part, but I had other issues in high school that
You
we
know.
could get into. It would take forever to talk about, but yeah, and he would talk to friends and girls, just learning to make observations about society and just about how we look at people and how we judge by a cover. And it's for someone who spent his whole life in high school not understanding, not getting along, and not fitting, being the square peg trying to fit in a round hole in high school. I can relate to
Mm-hmm.
that. Uh, but yeah, I can understand where the comedy's coming from. Maybe that's why it's kind of relatable because you're an outcast in high school at least, and you don't really fit, and then you get someone who makes all these jokes, and it's like that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
then after all that, he would later on he would go see. Well, I think he just started working at Quick Stop for a while. Like he was just kind of like he didn't know exactly what he wanted to do, and after high school, so he was working at the Quick Stop, and at some point he started going to see like more indie films and stuff, and he saw the indie film Slacker, which was what inspired him to want to pursue a career in filmmaking. Because after watching that movie, he saw what I forget the name of the writer and director of it, but he saw how he was able to make this impactful film on a very small budget, and he was like, "Oh well, if this guy can do it, why can't I give it a shot?" And so he went to film school, and I believe he dropped out of film school actually. He dropped, and then he actually went back to to his town, and I think he moved back. I think he moved back in with his parents. I'm not sure, but then he started working at the Quick Stop again, and then he was just like, he started thinking about what he could do, and he was like,
hmm,
why don't I make a movie about here? Why don't I make a movie here at the Quick Stop where I work, you know,
mhm,
and make a movie about working here and the customers and characters that surround the place. And he started writing the script for Clerks, and yeah, and then he made what is considered one of the most successful independent films of all time.
No argument there.
Yeah. Successfully launched his career. It starred Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson. Brian O'Halloran, Dante Hicks, Jeff Anderson was Randall Graves. Funny thing is, Kevin Smith actually originally wrote, I think, the part of Randall Graves for him. Like, he was originally wanted to play Randall in the film.
Right.
But then, as we know, he ended up playing Silent Bob. And he wrote the part for Jay, specifically for Jason Mewes. He basically just wrote who Jason Mewes was at the time, and like, and he was just like, yeah, I just want you to fucking play yourself, man. That's all you got to do. And yeah, and it also launched his career as well. I mean, Jason Mewes has had a pretty moderately successful acting career in his own right. So,
But he's a voice actor now. He does all kinds of podcasts and stuff. Like I No Sleep podcast. He's on that, and excellent. Not. And every once in a while, I'll pick up a podcast, and he does horror podcasts, which is weird, but yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Does those?
Well, he's been in a few independent films himself, and he was in that horror comedy series, Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. He played one of the main characters in that as well. So yeah. Huh?
Yeah, maybe we should talk about his hetero life, maybe.
Yes.
Jason Mewes and him met at the youth center.
Yes.
He was working at.
They also, I think,
and they both.
Well, they also met through. I think it was Brian Johnson and Walter
Flanagan.
Walter Flanagan. Thank you. Yeah.
Flanagan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they met through. He met Jason Mewes through them at the youth center. And like he was like, yeah, he tells a story about like how like they mentioned it to him that like there's just this weird kid that always comes to the youth center, just like kind of hangs out, and that was Jason Mewes. And he tells a story about like the first day he saw Jason Mewes at the youth center. Jason Mewes just walks into the youth center and without any like any prompting or anything, he just starts walking up to anything remotely phallic in the youth center and starts sucking it off. Just like sucking everything off. And he says like it was almost as if Jason Mewes that day like looked at his watch and says, "Oh, it's 3 p.m. Time to go to rec center and suck everything off." And he said from that day on, he knew this was someone he wanted to hang out with. Because if nothing else, it looked like he sucks a lot of dick. So yeah, their friendship was born there, and then Clerks also got picked up at I believe it was Sundance by by Harvey Weinstein.
Who, Harvey offered it to buy it.
Yeah, that wretched piece of shit, Harvey Weinstein, who deserves to rot in prison. But at the time though, he was launching a lot of now big directors' careers. I mean, Kevin Smith, he launched Quentin Tarantino's career. Like, it's fucked up what he's done, and he deserves to be in prison. But it is, it is a fact that he launched a lot of big name directors' careers, and Kevin Smith was one of them. And after the success of Clerks, he would then move on to make his next film, which he was hoping for a bit more commercial success. And actually got picked up by Universal. And that film was Mallrats. And Dominic, why don't you go ahead? What are some of your thoughts on Mallrats?
So Mallrats, they pitched it as a smart Porky's, and
Yep.
they pulled in probably the greatest, well, one of the greatest comic book CEOs of all time into the movie, and started his cameo career, Stan Lee. I think
Yep.
this is Stan Lee's first major motion picture. I don't know if I'm right
I
about that,
think it
but I
might
don't
be
remember him
his
in any major motion pictures.
Well, yeah, his first major cameo, anyway. Yeah, I think so. Actually, he has a pretty extensive role in Mallrats. Might be his biggest film role of
Yep.
all time. Like,
Oh yeah, he actually has lines. I
Yeah,
mean, he
yeah,
actually
yeah,
like
he
has
has-
more than one line.
yeah. So actually, like Mallrats might be Stan Lee's biggest role in a movie, as far as I know. Yeah, exactly. And of course it also launched the acting career of Brody. Why am I blanking?
Jason Lee.
Jason Lee. Thank you. I don't know why I was blanking on
Mhm.
his name. Jason Lee, who I actually
And
like.
to someone
Go ahead.
like me, grow up a skater kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well, yeah, I know
love
he
that
was
Jason Lee
he was a
got his
skateboarder.
start.
Yeah, that he started as like
He was a
skate-
skateboarder.
Yeah, and then he moved into acting, and I think Mallrats was his first major role, right? That was what launched his acting career.
I can't think of anyone
I
else.
think, right?
Any
Yeah.
other film he's in? I can't remember anything he's been in besides that.
But anyway,
Unless skating films. I know he's in.
But I love him. He's great in the movie. Brody is actually probably my favorite Kevin Smith character. Like, I think he's the one I've identified with. I honestly think he's the one I've identified with the most. Like, when I think of like which character I think best represented me in a Kevin Smith film, I think Brody is it. Like, because he's a geek, he's a nerd, but he still likes fucking shit up and starting shit. And it's like, he's like, fuck you. And I'm like, yeah, like I might read comics, but I'll fuck your shit up. I'm like, yeah,
Hey, would you like a chocolate pretzel?
Yes, hey, would you like a chocolate covered pretzel? I'm like, yeah, that's me. So yeah, I always personally identified with the character of Brody, in a lot of ways. He's a little misogynistic, but I mean, what are you gonna do? like that I do not identify with. But anyway,
No.
everything
Me either.
everything else about him, love the guy, love the character. But anyway,
Too bad the box office didn't do too well. It didn't fare very well. The
yeah,
Mallrats.
It was kind of a bomb. Yeah, it was a success
Yeah.
on home video, though it didn't reach its.
Oh yeah,
its
it's a cult
audience.
classic now.
Yep. Oh yeah. In fact, there's they now have the full director's cut of Mallrats, which is like over 2 hours long. I don't know if you ever saw that version, Spaz.
I think so. I think I have that one. I think I actually have the Mallrats extended edition, whatever it's called.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I actually prefer that version. Actually, I always prefer the director's. I feel like a lot of movies I've often.
Well, they have to cut it
Side
out for
with the
time.
director's
I mean,
cut.
I understand.
Yeah, they had to cut it down.
You don't
for
want to sit in a
time.
theater that long. You want to sit at home that long and watch all the cool features. I mean, I understand why they cut out
Yeah.
most of the stuff that they cut out
Right.
because, oh my God, that would have took 3 hours to watch everything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, there's a lot of things in well, there's one thing in particular in Mallrats you could never do in a movie now. I don't think the whole I forget the name of the character, but the girl who's 15 who's like writing a book
Mhm.
about having sex with a bunch of like men, like older men and stuff, and it's like
Writing a book about it,
yeah, writing a
Borgasm.
book about the Borgasm or whatever the book was called, but it's like
Yep. Mhm.
it's like, dude, she's 15, like Kev, come on.
And
Like,
and Kevin gets the main character, the main villain, busted. So I guess
Yeah.
it's not.
yeah,
He's saying it's bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not
yeah.
pro, child porn or whatever.
No. But I mean, even like watching that now, I think that's one part in the movie I think is a little cringe, at least for me. Like it's like this did not age well. But yeah, but other than that, I really like Mallrats a lot.
And it's just, I think it's the one movie where he has the best back and forth.
Yeah.
He,
I mean,
I don't know. I think it's my favorite for dialogue.
I mean, the ending, like scene with the dating show, is hilarious. Like that whole ending, like with Brody, like all the shit he's saying. One time, my cousin Walter jerked off in public on an airplane. Or whatever it was. You know, and then he just tells the whole story. Yeah, no.
Well, did he come or not?
Yeah.
Man, things you
Jesus
just don't
Christ,
say
man,
in
there's
public.
some things you don't talk about in public. Oh yeah, no. Mallrats has got some of his best dialogue. No, it really does. There's a lot of great stuff in it for sure. Yeah, but moving on now to his next film, which actually was successful. It did gain actually quite a bit of commercial success. Chasing Amy.
It tripled its production value.
Yeah. It was.
Oh no. Sorry. I'm sorry. It earned $12 million at the box office, and it was 250,000.
But it got a lot of critical praise too. Like it got a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
positive critical praise as well, which was big for him.
It won 2 Independent Spirit Awards. I'm not sure exactly what that was. One was for screenplay, and the other was for supporting actor. Sorry, Jason Lee.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, I don't know if don't know exactly what the Independent Spirit Award is, but
it was also a big it was also a big role for Ben Affleck as well. It really helped launch his career quite a bit. I think it might have been part of the reason how he got interest in getting production started for the oh god, why am I blanking on the name of the fucking movie?
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. Thank you. God, I am doing terrible tonight. Yes, yeah, I think. I think because I think Kevin Smith was actually involved with the production of Good Will Hunting as well, where he got Ben Affleck.
I know that Ben Affleck's been acting since he was a teenager. He was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was the tall basketball player in that. I don't even think he had a name, but yeah, I remember seeing Ben Affleck in a lot of films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Affleck, you the bombing Phantoms, yo.
Phantoms, yeah.
But Chasing Amy, I got to admit, I like it a lot. I really enjoy it. And you know what? For a time in my life, the movie was pretty significant to me. But nowadays, I feel like I revisit it less and less. Nothing against it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll watch it again and it'll hit all the same marks it did from the first time I saw it. But I don't know. What are your feelings on it as a film?
Well, like I said, when that came out, I was still really conservative in my views, and really I heard the premise, and I would just chop it up a bit. Like, no, I can't watch something like this. I'm just, this is against my beliefs, and blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly.
Keep that fucking rhetoric out of my show, Spaz. I fucking told you, bitch. Keep that shit out of here. All right, go ahead.
When I finally watched it, it's like, no, it wasn't what I don't know how to put it. The people who were the critics of this film put it out to be. It wasn't what they were saying. It isn't, in any sense of the imagination, what they were dubbing it as. And it's like, I wish that it would have been advertised a little better. I wish that it would have been, I don't know, shown what it really was. It would have been nice.
Well,
I end up thinking it's one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies because it challenges a conservative view. Indeed,
it does.
Yeah, and it makes you think about things that are uncomfortable to think about if you're conservative. And I've always said,
confronted,
that
Spaz. You were confronted
Exactly.
by your own
Exactly.
horrid reflection. The mirror was held
Exactly.
up to you, and you were disgusted by what you saw.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Chasing Amy, I for the longest time I'd watch it over and over again and just try to question what I thought and
Right.
question about things of that nature. And what I was going through in my life at that time was literally changing my perspective on things. I was very conservative as a young man and very Catholic. Didn't want to rock the boat. Didn't want to do that. Didn't want to question my faith. So when you got something that makes a point and doesn't insult you, I guess that's the way I say it. The movie doesn't insult a conservative. So if you watch the movie and you're a conservative, it's not going to go, "Oh, you evil conservatives." It doesn't even do that. It doesn't point fingers, or I don't know. It's not blatant, and it's not waving a flag or anything of that nonsense that they said it was. Really good movie, and I'm sad that it took me so long to just finally say fuck it, I'll watch it.
Yeah, you close-minded fuck. About time you fucking
Yep.
accepted the truth. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, no,
Although the
that's cool,
person
man.
The actor in that film that stole the show for me was Dwight Elwell, the guy that played Hooper, the guy with Black Rage. That he. Oh my god.
But you know what?
Oh.
Now that we're at
We're-
this little
yeah.
impasse, I just want to like
Mhm.
mention something real quick. I think it's kind of funny how we were almost, well, at a time we were almost polar opposites here, because Spaz was, grew up very, like you said, very Catholic, very conservative, and while I was raised like in a Catholic household, I was never like really raised conservative. I never really identified with conservatism. I've always been the one that said, yeah, like shake the boat, rattle the cages, fucking, like let hell fucking rain. Like, like I've always been one to go against authority and the status quo, and I'm a pretty hardcore liberal as far as like social issues go. I'm all for like all the rights for all that, for everyone. If you're a human being and you draw breath, you deserve rights. Unless you're like like a fucking child killer or something, then no. But anyway, But
And we have a hole we can show you right here.
Yeah. Oh, well, Spat, you know what? You might want to watch it, man. I might get the FBI on here. All right. All right. But
I just said a hole. I didn't say anything else. But anyway.
No, but like, yes, I am all for all human rights. Everyone, everything. You're all beautiful. Fuck conservatives. Fuck right wing Republican bullshit. Fuck Trump. All right. I'll move on now. Fuck progressive.
Now that we pissed off half of the viewers.
I'm all for progression. I want progression. Fuck regression. Anyway, moving on now. Yes, let's get on to his next film. A film
Okay.
that let's talk about Dogma.
Okay.
Yeah. Personally, I think this is my favorite Kevin Smith film. I really enjoy his deconstruction of Catholicism and faith in general. I think he provided a lot of smart commentary on the subject of religion in Dogma, while also making ass fucking jokes, as he says, so it's like, it's like he's he has a lot of great poignant messages in Dogma for regarding faith and religion. But you also got a lot of great fucking, you got Jay and Silent Bob running around doing their thing. So,
Mhm.
And
being prophets, no less.
Yes. Man, I could kick the shit out of the fucking kids in Red Bank and make myself a prophet.
Yep.
Yeah. it has a great cast too. I mean, you got Alan Rickman, Selma Hayek, fucking Chris Rock, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon return, and Ben Affleck returns, and then along with Matt Damon in the film, which at the time was like the height of they were at like the height of their careers at the time, because this was like
I think so, because
this was just after Good
that
Will
after
Hunting. Yeah, it was like right.
Yeah.
I think it was like right after Good Will Hunting.
And right when they were skyrocketing American's Darlings, right? The
Yeah,
Academy Award winning writers and actors. Yeah. So
yeah. So it had a lot of big names. And then George Carlin plays the Cardinal in the film. We love George Carlin here.
This is the first time he appears in a Kevin Smith movie too, I believe.
Yes, this was the first time he was in a Kevin Smith movie. What do you think? Come on. What are your thoughts on Dogma?
So
I actually want to hear your thoughts more than anything.
This one, like I said, when you are faced with growing up Catholic and, having a certain set of views and then having someone joke at everything that your faith has, and being able to laugh at your own faith is healthy, I think. To be able to question your faith is healthy. I like how it's done, and I don't know why I can say this. It's kind of in the same vein as Chasing Amy, because it's not in your face. It's not, oh, you conservatives, you Catholics are horrible people. It pokes fun at them, but it doesn't. I don't know, and I don't understand why it was such a criticized by the Catholic League and was just torn down. I don't understand. If anything, it probably brought people to it. Probably brought people to the Catholic Church that were kind of like, it's a religion like any other faith that has problems.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know, man.
Yeah, no, you made a lot of fine points. I mean, as you know, I'm an atheist, so like I just view the film as like a really fun deconstruction of faith and religion. But I know he wrote the film when he was still religious, when he was he still had some faith. I think since then, I think now he's actually like admitted to like becoming an atheist now, which I'm like, awesome. He's finally he's on our side. Yeah. Like, haha, we won. We got another one. Yeah. But at the time, I know when he wrote the film, he was still like, he still was religious. Like, he still had faith. But I think it was coming from a place where he was, saying like, do I actually believe in all this stuff? Which I'm glad he came to the realization that no, he doesn't, but like, so like, but yeah, so no, I really love Dogma. I think it's my favorite film of his. I think it's the smartest film, honestly.
Right. The main character, what's her name? Bethany Sloan, Linda Fiorentino, I think is how you say her name.
Yes.
She plays a character that I relate to in an odd come around way, because she works at an abortion clinic, yet she's a Catholic, pays her tithing and all this stuff. And the thing that I relate to on a weird kind of come away thing is my whole family are soldiers. Every member of my family is military. So they've literally killed people, helped the country kill people, all this stuff, generations of my family are soldiers, but yet staunch Catholics, most of them. So to have the, I don't know, oxymoran of a hero that does bad things, it's or things that are non-Catholic or whatever you want to call it,
sure,
is interesting to me.
Right.
Because it's like I mean, okay, so she works at an abortion clinic. Okay, that was my reaction to it. I was like, okay, yeah, but my family has done worse than that. If you want to if you consider war evil. So,
I mean, I do, but yeah, like,
Mhm.
but yeah, yeah, cool. All right, yeah.
And maybe we should talk about how this one made triple.
That's right. It was a
It earned
bigger box
30 million for a
office
$10 million
success.
film.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
and
it's a
I
bigger
don't
box
remember if it
office
was this one.
success.
Yep, and I don't know if Kevin Smith said they gave him 10 million. He's like, "What am I going to do with all this money?"
Right. Yep. He was like, he went to Scott Mosier. He's like, here, you figure it out. I don't know what to do with this. Like, I don't know. You're the money guy. I don't
Yeah.
know what to do with all this. You know? But yeah, but he got a lot of success with that, and and he wanted to, I guess he wanted to emulate that success with his next film, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. The first
Yeah, buddy.
film that was primarily about Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, there were in all his other films, but they were always like background side characters, but now they were front and center. They and Kevin Smith admitted, that this was his commercial film. This was him trying to be like, yeah, I want to make something fun that will make money, and
So wasn't this one because he would go to cons all the time or stuff like that, and they're like, "When are you going to make a Jay and Silent Bob film?" And he's like, "What the fuck? Why would you guys want Jay and Silent Bob? They're second-rate Cheech and Chong." And
well, I think that might have been part of it, but also another part of
Yeah.
it was he wanted to get Jason Mewes clean.
yeah,
Because I'm sure, as you know, at the time, and actually for a while after that, Jason Mewes was dealing with heavy drug addiction.
Yep.
And he like Kevin Smith said, like, man, if you get clean, like, long enough,
Mhm.
I will make a Jay and Silent Bob movie. Like, I will make a movie for us, And that was kind of his way to try to motivate Jason Mewes into sobering up and everything. And from what I understand, it worked for a little while. I mean, of course, Jason Mewes had a relapse, and he had quite a few relapses. But now he's fully now I know, like, he's fully clean and everything.
Well, yeah, I think his daughter was
yeah,
his like motivating force. He was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I can't be a
think
father and be."
I think he's got a son too now.
Mhm.
Actually, I think he's got.
Oh, he does. That's
I think
cool.
he's got a daughter and I think, I'm not sure, but yeah, no, he met his now his wife, and she really got kind of her and Kevin Smith like really fought to get him on the straight and narrow, and and now he's he's clean, he's a father, seems to be happy, so good for
Very
him.
happy for him.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for him.
Yeah. But yeah, the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's a funny movie. I enjoy it. It's got a lot of great
It's
jokes
fun.
in it. It's a fun movie. I got nothing really bad to say about it. It's again,
It is what it is.
It is exactly. It is what it is. It's just I think he said it. It's a 2-hour dick and fart joke movie, and you know what?
Mm-hmm.
For that, I think it's one of the best examples of that.
Best, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's got I can't really like. Hey, I love dick and fart joke humor. I'm not fooling anyone. I'm not gonna pretend to be some highfalutin asshole. No, I love
Yeah.
I love me some fucking poo poo and pee pee jokes, man. I love that. That's my kind of shit.
Sometimes that's
Literally.
all you need is
Yeah.
2 or an hour and a half of just nothing serious at all. Just
Yeah. Just a fun, goofy, dumb movie.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely enjoy it for that. Yeah. I think like, got anything else you want to add on it?
Not really. I mean, it did. It.
Has
I'm glad that I got to see that in the theater with my wife, and
Nice.
she had to
Yeah.
explain the chocolate covered pretzel joke because I hadn't seen Mallrats at the time,
but she
and
had. She
we
had,
watched.
yeah.
Yeah, and she had, and I had seen Chasing Amy, and she hadn't, and we kind of like filled each other in on the Chasing Amy, and because they hint at all that stuff.
Nice.
So you know,
Nice.
yeah, and then we went home and watched those two movies, and it was pretty fun to watch. You know,
That's
get the
awesome.
jokes again finally.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about the movie. Oh, one more thing. I
Mhm.
love the George Carlin cameo in it. That's hilarious. The fucking
Yep.
the roadhead
Yeah.
guy. You know, like
No, stop being so
Well,
suburban.
yeah.
There's
Well,
no
what-
Grand Street
well,
anymore.
Well, what happens if you don't make with the head? Don't they kick your ass at the curb? Sure, if you don't make with the
You're like,
head.
"Oh, with the head?"
Yeah, that was great. I love Kevin Smith. He talks about like you know, talking to George Carlin on set when they were filming this scene, and George Carlin was saying something like, I just want to understand the importance of the role of the character I'm playing of a man, you know, propositioning oral sex for a ride across the country. I don't know. I did not do that justice at all. But yeah, great cameo by the amazing George Carlin. Yeah. Moving on now, we can I think we can now get to his next film, which I believe was Jersey Girl, right? That was that was his next film, which I mean, it gets a lot of hate. And all
I
that.
like it, but
I like it too. I like Jersey Girl too. I actually really love the ending, the whole Sweeney Todd ending, because Sweeney Todd's my favorite musical. So like I thought that the ending was great. You know, I like Jersey Girl. I do.
I like that he can joke about it too, because
Yeah.
you know his starring characters were in Gia or Gigi or whatever it's called, and he called this film his Gigi 2
Yeah,
because they starred right after it with him. It's like,
right.
yeah.
No, again, George Carlin returns with a
Yep, he sure does.
with the biggest role he's had in any Kevin Smith movie. He plays Ben Affleck's
Think so,
character's
yeah.
father in the film, and
Grandpa.
if nothing else, watch it for him. He's great in it. I love watching George Carlin in that movie.
Take her to see the cats.
Yeah, take it to see the cats. Yeah. Well, I don't read the papers. You don't read this paper. Although they were all out of the ledger. Shit.
The other thing is that there was some interesting characters that played the friend of the grandfather. That was kind of the guy kept the Ben Affleck's character kept saying, "Those two men are not your uncles."
Yeah.
So one of them played the hitman in Dumb and Dumber.
Right,
Mike
and the
Starr,
other-
I think is his name.
And the
And the other
one-
played.
he's done a lot. He was in a lot of stuff. He's been in a lot of roles. I forget the name of the actor. But
Yeah.
he's been in a ton of stuff.
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root. Yeah. Well, I guess his most.
He's the
famous
one that
role
played in
was Office Space. He plays the
Office Space. Shit.
Yeah.
Took my
he took
stapler.
my stapler.
I'll have
He
to
took my
burn the whole.
stapler. I have to burn
I have to burn the whole place down.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of his most well-known roles. But yeah, he's
Sadly, yes, for him. I mean,
yeah. But he's been
iconic role.
But he's been in a ton of stuff though. He's been in a ton of
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. He was actually in that show Barry. He was great in that. The show that Bill Hader did, where he plays the assassin who wants to become an actor, and what's his face? What's the actor? God, please forgive me. What's the name of the actor again? We were just talking about.
The name of the actor is Mike's. Oh, no, I'm sorry, no, that's the other guy. Stephen Root.
Stephen Root, thank you.
Is his
Yeah,
name.
Stephen Root, and then Stephen Root, he played like his like sort of surrogate father in Barry. But anyway, moving on. Sorry, went off on a tangent there for a second. But yeah, he's great in it too. In Jersey Girl. Yeah, no, it's a fun little film. I like it. I like Jersey Girl.
I like it for what it is, and
yeah.
yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about it. But yeah, obviously, box office, it's
It bombed.
shit the bed. I mean,
It
yeah,
bombed big
it only
time,
made
yeah.
$1 million profit.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's ouch for a film, major motion
Mhm.
picture.
Yes. So I guess he took that to heart because he was like, you know what, I'm not gonna try to make anything like commercial or original again. I'm just gonna go back to the well and make Clerks 2, baby.
Right.
And you know what? I gotta say, I know I said I think Dogma is my favorite Kevin Smith film, but I think Clerks 2 might be his funniest film.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I love Clerks 2. I actually was working at a movie theater when I was 18, when Clerks 2 came out, and I was working at a movie theater at the time, and I got to see Clerks 2 like for free a bunch of times. I mean, got a bunch of my friends in for like we all went in to see it for free, and I love Clerks 2. Jeff Anderson returns in like full effect. I really think he steals the show in Clerks 2 as Randall.
Yeah, well, he does have two people to play off in this one rather
Yeah.
than just O'Halloran, as Dante. Yes,
Yeah.
he has Elias.
He's got Elias,
who
that's
is
right,
the
yeah.
most clueless kid.
Yeah.
It's like they tortured that poor kid.
Yeah, no, like Elias is
That
hilarious
poor
in his
kid.
own right. Yep.
That poor kid.
Yeah.
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 I feel
Mr.
so sorry for
Dante!
Elias.
Randall's
You love
talking
Mr.
about
Dante, don't
Jesus
you?
Again. Yeah, no, I think I think it's got some of the best like jokes. I think it's got some of the funniest scenes. The ending scene is hilarious. Spaz, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Okay, so, oh my God, they had the running chug. He or she likes to chug asscock.
Oh yeah.
That running joke that goes through the film. There's also the scene where you get only a little cameo of Jason Lee coming in as a high school friend. They call him the pickle fucker, and
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was great.
yeah, the horrible, like, I don't know, ignorance of Randall's character when it comes to racial remarks and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have Wanda Sykes and
It's all right, I'm
Earthquake
taking
being
it back.
customers that are
It's all right.
back.
It's all right,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
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 And
Oh, that
may
was
I
great.
say that this film made a $5 million budget, made $25 million.
Yeah.
That's something. That's saying something.
No, it
People
was
like Clerks.
it was
I don't
also
know
a
why
big
they like Clerks so
success.
much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was also a big success for him.
So, yeah, that's it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Clerks,
5 times its budget. So, the only one that they even got close to was Dogma.
right.
Dogma got 3 times what it 10 out of and made 30. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Clerks 2 was a huge success.
Huge commercial success. And the ending scene is just comedy
Yep.
gold. I don't think it gets any funnier than that ending scene, man. Hey, he's about to cornhole that ass with his wiener.
Forgive me, Jesus.
Yeah. And if you no, let's not spoil it for people. If you have not seen Clerks 2 yet, just watch it. You'll see the ending scene. You know exactly what we're talking about. Just watch it. It's worth it for the ending scene. It's worth it for the ending scene alone. I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great stuff. Yeah, I love Clerks 2. And then next, he after Clerks 2, I believe
Zack and Miri?
his next film was that. Yeah, that's right. Zack and Miri make a porno. But before that, he wanted to make. Well, we'll get to that in a few minutes. But before that, he really wanted to make a horror film called Red State. But at the time, he didn't feel like he could get enough interest in it to get it funded and everything. So he said, you know what? Maybe if I make another big commercial film, the next one I could do could be Red State. And that's, his next big commercial film that he tried to make was Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
And he was banking on Seth Rogen to pull him through, because Seth Rogen
Right.
was just box office gold at the time. So,
And I
Yeah.
don't know if you caught if you caught stuff. Actually, you know what's bad? I do want to talk to you about Zack and Miri Make a Porno for a minute here, because I don't know if you know.
it has my hero in it.
Oh yes, that's right. It has that little cameo. Well, that's one of the things I wanted to discuss with you. That's actually not the only nod. There's actually two specific nods to Romero and Night of the Living Dead. They're as you know, the movie the movie takes place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It takes place in Pittsburgh, where like a lot of that stuff took place. And interestingly enough, originally that cameo was not supposed to be Tom Savini. Originally it was supposed to be George Carlin, but because of scheduling conflicts, George Carlin had to regretfully back out of the cameo. He said, "Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry, Kevin, but you know what? I'll be there for the next one." But after that, sadly, George Carlin passed away. So that was actually an interesting little factoid about that cameo in Zack and Miri that I thought was interesting. But anyway, that is not the only nod to Night of the Living Dead. I don't know if you noticed, but in the film, Seth Rogen's character plays on a hockey team. Him and Jeff Anderson's characters play on a hockey team. And if you see the name of their hockey team on their jerseys is the Monroeville Zombies.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure you get
I didn't I didn't know the name of the hockey team, but I was like, I would know it if I saw it.
Yeah, in the movie, the name of their hockey team is the Monroeville Zombies. So,
it's an awesome little nod. And then of course you have Tom Savini coming in to play the sleazy landlord.
Well, we just covered that. Yeah, we just covered that. Yeah, he cameos as the landlord who rents him out to space to film the porno. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So, Tom Savini, the great little cameo there, and Zack and Miri Make a Porno. He, like I said, he was trying to emulate the success of the Judd Apatow films at the time, like Knocked Up and 40-Year-Old Virgin, because he hired a lot of Apatow regular cast members in the film. I mean, it stars Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks. He's got Craig Robinson in there. So like he was trying to emulate.
Justin Long. Yep.
Yeah, Justin Long. Oh, that's right. Well, wait, Justin Long wasn't in any Judd Apatow movies.
Yep.
Was he?
Well, no. I mean, he was in. They're trying to bank on commercial success of.
Well, Justin Long's just great, no matter what he's in. Justin Long's just great.
Yeah,
no
pretty much.
He's in. Yeah. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, Justin Long. Yeah, in it. He even got I forget the actor's name, but it was the actor who at the time was the current Superman, because that was came out 2 years after Superman Returns came out.
Brandon Roth.
Yeah, Brandon Roth. Thank you. There we go.
Yeah.
He has a little cameo in it, as well as Justin Long's character's boyfriend. Yeah. I love that that joke he makes too about the title of one of his movies. Like, what was the last movie you made or whatever? And he goes, "Shut your mouth before I fuck it."
Yeah. Oh man! And there's cutscenes on the DVD with Long just trying to bust up Brandon Roth.
Yeah.
They're sitting next to each other and they're in character, and Long is just really hamming it up for him, and he's trying to keep a straight face, but he's not doing very well.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, I like Zack and Miri. Again, I like it. It's a funny little movie.
There's also a cameo by Tyler Labine, the guy that played Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
Tyler Labine. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays.
Yeah, Labine. Sorry, Labine.
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, he plays the.
Plays the drunk guy.
Yeah. Chuck it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yep. What are you guys? Huh?
That's-
What are you guys doing? Yeah, no, yes, yeah. Tyler Labine has a fun little cameo in it as well. He's another really underrated actor that I really like a lot.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love him so much.
Yeah, I love Tyler
What are them
Labine.
college kids?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
he's great. He was also
yeah,
in
this
one of my favorite shows that got canceled way too soon, Reaper. I don't know if you ever saw Reaper,
yep.
but he was in
I
that.
did too. Yep,
He
yep.
was one of the main characters in that
My
as
wife's
well.
favorite show. One of my
Yeah.
wife's favorite shows.
I was so upset when that show
Not
got
a
canceled.
carjacker. I'm the devil.
Yeah. I was so upset when that show got canceled. I really enjoyed that show a lot, but whatever. Anyway, which actually, you know what? Funny enough, Kevin Smith directed the pilot of Reaper. So that's actually an interesting little fucking connection there as well. Yeah, fun little factoid there as well. Kevin Smith actually directed the pilot of Reaper. So yeah.
This Zack and Muriel, I'm sorry, no, Zack and Muri was a commercial flop.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that Seth Rogen experienced his worst experience of opening night at a box office for any of his films.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't get the money then to make Red State, so he had to make our next film.
Wait.
He had to make Copland. Cop Out, sorry, Cop Out.
Oh, that's right. Yes, he did make Cop Out before Red State. I always forget about Cop
He
Out.
did.
It's such a
Well, yeah,
it's such a fart in the wind of a movie. It's just like I just came and went like, oh, hold on. I just farted. That was Cop Out. There we go.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Cop Out's a fucking dog shit movie. Even Kevin Smith knows that. And but I don't hold it against him because he did not write Cop Out. I think that was the only movie, the only theatrical film that he directed that he did not write himself. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we whatever. Fuck Cop Out. Who cares? Whatever.
Right. But the thing is that he got the money to make our next one, which is Red State, which is an
he finally got
awesome
the
fucking movie
to make Red State. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was very
can't say enough good about this movie.
I was very excited to see it at the time because when he mentioned that he wanted to make a horror film and discuss the premise of it, I was all on board. I was like, fuck yeah, make a fucking horror movie about like some crazy like evangelical psychos. Man, I'm all for it. Fuck yeah.
Oh, it's based on a true story, man.
No, I know. It's based on the Phelps family. I know. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's based on I know, Spaz. I fucking know this shit. No, but he tells a story about like how he came up with the concept for Red State. He was like this is like during the time when he was smoking a lot of weed, and he was like up late one night, like getting high and watching a documentary about the Phelps family, and he was like, "Yo, man, these people are fucked up. Like, this should be like a horror movie. Oh fuck, I should write it.
They are a horror movie.
I should write this as a horror movie." And he did, yeah. That's how he came up with the concept for Red State. Red State.
Once again, this is our opinion. We don't want them suing us.
Yeah.
It's our opinion, not fact.
Yeah. But either way, go fuck yourself, Phelps family. Anyway, it's got some great casting in it.
Everything is great about this movie, man. I love this movie.
You got Michael Parks just knocking it out of the park as the head like of the family, the head pastor of the family. And then you got the always just amazing John Goodman playing the
ATS officer.
Yes,
isn't
thank
what,
you.
What he is?
ATF officer.
ATF.
Yeah, the ATF
Sorry.
officer. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Yeah. And he's great in it as well. The premise is awesome. The cinematography, I think, is some of the best he's ever had in any. I think it might be the best shot film he's ever done. Like, there are some shots in that movie that I think are just fantastic. Um,
Oh man, I love this film so much.
um,
I hate that it did so badly. I mean, it literally tears up my heart because I think this is probably one of his best fucking films. Like I don't know.
I
Granted, it's not my favorite, but it's
yeah.
awesome, and it
No,
should
I
have got
agree.
better than Clerks. I mean, come on.
It's up there for me as well, but I do think it suffers a little bit in the end. Because he didn't get to end it how he originally wanted to, so
Yep.
the ending feels a little rushed, and um,
It has the what is it called? The Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail kind of ending. It's like they wanted more, but they couldn't afford it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and
pretty
you can see
much.
it in the film, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like once it gets to that point at the ending, you're like, okay, I see what you had to do there, but yeah, that kind of hurts the film a little bit, but I understand why you had to do that. But I mean, I still think I still think how he ended it was okay enough. Like I feel like I think it was, you know, the best way he could, maybe not the best way he could have ended it at that point, but it's a serviceable ending. It's fine. It's a fine ending in my opinion. I still think the way he originally wanted to end it would have been like way like fucking like the way like to me the way like Red State sits, it's like at about like a 7 for me, almost an 8. But if it had ended the way he originally wanted to have ended it, I would have been like, yo, this movie's a fucking 10. Like this movie's fucking 10 out of 10. I
Hmm.
like it. This movie's a goddamn masterpiece. I fucking love it. You know, um,
So, what do you think of the end? Like the last scene, not the end of the movie, but the last scene where Cooper's character, I'm sorry, Cooper was wandering back and forth and singing in the cell and sermonizing until one of the other
well, that's
prisoners looks
actually
up and tells
Kevin
him to
Smith.
shut up.
That's Kevin
That
Smith.
is
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah,
Smith.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
At the end, he
yeah,
yells, "Shut the fuck up!"
yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Hmm.
no, I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was great.
I love that ending too. Yeah.
Yeah. But man, if it had actually ended with the apocalypse and like the final
Oh
shot and
yeah.
the final shot of the movie is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse coming in from the horizon, I would be like, man, that movie's 10 out of 10, man. That movie's a fucking masterpiece. Like,
And have Ben Affleck come back and cut off the main guy's head. That would have been
yeah, that would
perfect.
have,
Like come back as
Michael Parks'
Bartleby.
head.
Come back as
Yeah,
Bartleby. Yeah.
cuts off Michael Parks' head. Yeah, that would have been. Oh man, that would have been phenomenal. Oh man, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. But like I said, Michael Parks is still amazing in the movie. Great role. John Goodman, he's always amazing. So yeah, obviously he's great in the movie. So yeah, like Red State's awesome. Like, yeah, if you haven't seen it, go
Oh
watch
yeah.
it.
Can't
Yeah,
say enough good about this film,
yeah.
and I'm surprised and disappointed that it didn't do well.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these things where I think my taste is not what critics or other film goers are like. I can't
I
understand
hear you,
why
man.
this film didn't just do leaps and bounds better than it did.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, moving along now, we get to his next film, which
One of your
was-
favorites.
Not, you know what? Yeah, the next film was Tusk. I like it's not.
Tusk?
I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but I like Tusk. I enjoyed it for the weird, goofy body horror film that it was. Because again, it stars Justin Long. I can't help but love Justin Long. And
Now, and that's fine.
yeah, and
We got Michael Parks back as well,
Yeah, and Michael Parks returns as well as the main villain. And I actually really
and
enjoyed
a cameo by Johnny Depp, I think.
And I really enjoyed his performance in it I really enjoyed Michael Parks' performance in it as well. And yes, Johnny Depp comes into the film as well towards the end, and I actually
Le Point.
Guy Lapointe, Guy Lapointe,
Mhm.
the French Canadian detective. I really enjoy him in the film as well. I love that he's like putting on like a full on like French Canadian accent, like over the top French Canadian accent. Like I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
Did you recognize Haley Joel Osment in that too? Because he was in that as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't recognize him at
Really?
first. I didn't recognize him.
Dude,
He
he's
had
always
put on
got-
a lot of weight.
I don't know. He's always
I
got the
didn't
same baby face
recognize
to
him.
me. He's always got the same baby face to me. I feel like
because I didn't recognize him at first. I was like, "Where do I know that guy from? Where do I know that dude from?" And
I
then
feel
I'm
like
like,
Haley Joel
"Oh."
Osment. I feel like Haley Joel Osment is one of those like few people who like where like the rest of his body grew up around him, but his face just stayed the same. You know, it's just like like no, I always recognize that fucker. Yeah. Even when he was fat, I'm like, Haley Joel Osment, you fat bastard, I see you. Yeah.
This story was based on a Gumtree ad.
Yes,
where
it
the
was
guy
on a
was trying
fake-
to
it was
rent a place.
It was on a fake. It was based on a fake Gumtree ad that Kevin Smith,
Okay.
that Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier discussed on their podcast, Smodcast, and they conceptualized the entire film on the podcast, and like. And it was like almost like a
God.
joke at the time where he's like Kevin Smith said like, if you want us to make this movie, you know, vote Walrus yes, you know, or if you don't want it, vote Walrus no. Your vote is crucial. You know, like, and you know, and sure enough, enough people voted #Walrus yes, and he was like, oh fuck, I guess I got to make this stupid Walrus movie now. And sure enough, he did it. And,
What the people want.
Yeah, give the people what they want. Yeah, no, and sure enough, you know, like I said, I like it. I enjoy Tusk for what it is. I know you're not as big of a fan of it. Spaz.
I like, you know, don't get me wrong. I like Kevin Long. I
Justin
love Justin Long, and
Michael Parks.
Parks is cool too. Yeah, Parks is cool too. But
Mhm.
it wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know. It just didn't hit me the way those other films hit me, and I was kind of really excited about it too. And I guess that was what pissed me off, because I was so excited to see Tusk.
Yeah,
And,
no.
it just didn't work for me.
This
Yeah.
was not your cup of tea. That's cool, man. Hey, you know, whatever. I look, I get it. You know,
Maybe I'll watch it again someday and like it. You know, I don't know.
I'm
now,
not gonna be one of those people that like, you know, was gonna defend Tusk until his dying breath. Like, you don't know cinema if you fucking hate Tusker. You know, whatever the fuck. You know, I know it's.
I wouldn't say I hate it. I'm
Yeah.
just like, it's a meh kind of movie for me.
I know it's a movie that has a bit of you gotta have a bit of a niche taste to like it, I guess. I don't know. I like the movie. You either like it or you don't. Whatever. I like it. You don't. What? Who gives a shit? Moving along now.
Exactly.
Who gives a shit? Moving
Oh,
along.
God.
Moving along.
This one I think
now.
we can agree on, though. Yeah.
Yes. Now
This one I think we agree on.
Now this movie I unfortunately saw in the theater. Wish I didn't waste my money or my time to see it in the theater. Now
sorry for you, man.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Someone should apologize to me for that, because fuck Kevin Smith sure as fuck didn't. But yeah, no, it's, man, they should have just called it Nepotism the movie. That's what they should have fucking called it.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's just like, you know, I know Kevin Smith really like tries to like push his daughter as an actress, like he really wants to like support her, but dude, Kev, man, I hate to break it to you, man, I really do, but your daughter.
Do you even remember this movie?
Your daughter. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man, Kev, if you're watching this, man, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, brother, but your daughter, not the best actress. Sorry, man. I know it hurts. I know. I'm sorry. Look, I get it. You know, she's your daughter. You love her. You want to support her. But sometimes you just gotta you gotta break it to her. You know, and be like, hey, kid, I know you want to be an actress and everything, but I'm sorry, you ain't got what it takes. May want to try to figure out another career path. You know. Yeah, no, her and fucking Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily Rose Depp, starred it, and
Yep.
God, what a dog shit movie. I don't even know where to start with this fucking mess. But Spaz, why don't you go ahead and say what you want to say about it?
I don't remember it. I've watched it once all the way through. I don't remember it. I don't my mind must have said, no.
Yeah.
Didn't remember it. Like, I think my body, my brain is trying to defend my psyche by not remembering.
Yeah.
I remember the bratwurst, the Bratzies,
Yeah,
that Kevin Smith
fucking
played.
Bratzies.
I don't remember much other than that.
I don't really remember
Yeah,
too much either. So let's move on.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So let's move on. Yeah. Fuck Yoga Hosers. Moving along.
Mhm.
Jay and Silent Bob Reboot was his next film.
Okay.
I like it. I like Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. I don't hate it. It's got some funny moments in it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. That's really all I gotta say about it. I don't know what else to say about it, really.
Didn't they lasso? Didn't they lasso in Chris Jericho to play in this one as well as the KKK leader? Or
Was that
am I
Chris
thinking of a different film?
Jericho?
I think that was Chris Jericho. I'm not sure.
I
But
don't know.
anyways,
But you know what? Actually,
Not
there
sure
is
either.
something a little significant to mention about there is something a little
Uh-huh.
significant to mention about Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. It was the first time in years that he actually got Ben Affleck to return for a film.
Yep.
He had I guess patched up whatever like issues him and Ben Affleck had, or maybe it was just as simple as calling Ben Affleck and being like, "Hey, man." Because I think it was shortly after Kevin Smith had his heart attack, and he was, he was reminiscing on his life and everything, and he was just like, he was like going to fucking, he contacted Ben Affleck. He was like, "Hey, man, like when someone, faces the potential end of their life, they really like, consider the people in their lives, and, he's basically saying like, hey, man, I was thinking, I faced my mortality, and I made me start thinking about all the people in my life, and I want to talk to you." And Ben Affleck was just he was like, "Man, you idiot! All you had to do was fucking call me," or whatever. Like it was like a really sweet like man, like come on, all you had to do was give me a call or whatever. Like here ain't shit. And yeah, I guess they kind of like reinvigorated their friendship a bit, and he got Ben Affleck to make a cameo again as Holden McNeil,
Right.
as this character from Chasing Amy in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. Well, it was really neat that he got him to come back, make that cameo in there. Anything you want to add about Jay and Silent Bob Reboot?
Just that it was very much a nostalgic film, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think this was saying thank you to the fans that have been with them from the beginning, and
Yeah.
just kind of saying, "Hey, look,
kinda
I know
love-
you guys are curious about Jay, and yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of a love letter to the fans, for sure. Yeah.
yeah." He's like, "I know you guys love Jay and Silent Bob for some reason,
Yeah.
so I'll
So-
give you this little." I think he doesn't understand why people love Jay and Silent Bob, but they do. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a fun little movie. I enjoy it. Once again, it's just like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is a fun little movie. I enjoy it.
It is, and it's
yeah.
very much a thank you to the fans. I mean, I think it is. I can't. You get the loose ends tied up, and you get the characters you want to see. What happened to them?
Yep. So moving along now to his final film, and this is a movie. I think we should discuss a little bit, because it really brought his career full circle, because his next film would be Clerks 3, the third film in his Clerks trilogy. I have a lot of conflicting feelings about it, to be honest.
Yep.
On one hand, it was really cool to see Jeff Anderson and Brian O'Halloran return again as Dante and Randall. It was fun to see. I forget the actor's name, but the actor plays a lot. It was fun to see Elias return.
Elias.
Yeah, as a character. I thought it was,
Fuhrman, I guess.
huh?
Trevor Fuhrman, I think is how you say his
Oh
name.
yeah,
Fuhrman.
it's like Thurman or some shit. Whatever,
Mhm,
that
mhm,
guy, that
mhm.
fucking Trevor, that fucking guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, he's fun in the movie. But man, it's his most depressing movie, I think.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
there's and it's funny because Clerks 3 went through a lot. Like the script went through a lot of different iterations. Like he did a lot of drafts on it. I know originally he had in the script that okay, so basically he I guess cuz at the time he wasn't sure if cuz at the time Rosario Dawson was starting to become like a bigger name in Hollywood. Like she was starting to get like become a lot bigger in Hollywood. And she was getting a lot of movie roles and you know, now she's Ahsoka. You know, she's fucking part of like Star Wars, like arguably the biggest movie franchise in the world. You know, so it's like, so at the time he wasn't 100% sure if she was going to be able to return for the film. So he basically wrote it to have her character die. But originally the kid was supposed to survive. In the original script, Dante's daughter survives and is still present in the film, in the original script. And originally the movie was supposed to end with a shooting at a movie, like a mass shooting at a movie, and it was going to end with Randall sacrificing himself to protect his daughter. And then the movie was going to end then with Randall becoming like her new like adoptive father, you know? And I feel like if he had kept that at least, he would still had a bit of heart there in the film. You know, it was like, you know, there was a tragic ending for Dante, but his daughter still lives, and now Randall sees like has like a new lease on life on trying to be like a father for this child.
Right.
You know? But that did not happen in the final version of the film. In the final version of the film, both Rosario Dawson's character and the kid die from, I believe it was a car accident in the movie.
Yep.
And because of that, the whole movie just has this really depressing tone throughout the whole thing. And
that,
you know, and it's like, I don't know, it didn't feel right to me. Because I feel like each Clerks film that Kevin Smith made at the time reflected a period in his life. And he says this himself. He says like each time he made a Clerks film, it reflected a period in his life, you know, because he made the first Clerks film when he was in his early 20s. Then he made Clerks 2 when he was in his early 30s, you know, and now it's like years later he makes Clerks 3, and you know he's trying to emulate some actual things that happened to him in his life, like, you know, the whole like heart attack and all that. But it's like when Kevin Smith had the heart attack, he survived it. And when he survived it, he had like a whole new lease on life. He became vegan. He lost all his weight. You know, he's like like way healthier now and everything.
Yep.
And he really like turned his life around for the better. But with Clerks 3, it's just Randall has a heart attack, survives it, then gets inspiration to make a movie, which ends up just being Clerks, the first Clerks movie,
right,
which I thought was funny and really meta. And then after that, it's like then Dante has a heart attack, but then he dies, and we're left with Dante dying and Randall being left alone once again behind the counter of Quick Stop. So it's like no one really has a happy ending.
No, and
Like, you know?
I don't know. Having Rosario Dawson character die, that took the wind out of my sails when I watched the movie, and I think that's the biggest thing because it was like, the end of the last Clerks is like he finally got a good life. He's finally got everything. He's
Yeah.
the one of the lines is I'm supposed to be here today.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's a happy ending, upbeat ending, and then you're like, holy crap, this one's pushing comedy. It's very black comedy, and I don't expect that from Kevin Smith. I don't expect black comedy. I
Yeah.
expect,
Edgy
raunchy,
humor.
raunchy,
Yeah,
no
raunchy,
doubt.
edgy
Yeah,
humor.
edgy, yeah.
But not like not just
But
like
this was just
complete
black.
bleakness. Yeah. Yeah. No,
And you even got the Elias switching completely around, and it's like Elias is supposed to be the symbol of innocence, and it's
I
like
thought that
Elias
was
is
funny.
supposed to be the guy.
I don't know. I thought that was
Yeah,
funny. That
I
he
guess
goes
you
from
would.
one extreme to the next.
It's just
I
like
love
it
that.
went.
Yeah, I love that he
Yeah.
in the Clerks 3 is a hardcore Christian, but in Clerks 3 it becomes like an extreme like Satanist. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny. Like, all right, that's pretty. I don't know. That was one of the things in the movie I actually thought was pretty funny. But where?
But I mean, like I said, it just seems very dark. The whole movie compared to his other films, this is dark, and I was like not expecting it. It's kind of a gut
Yeah.
punch movie, and I didn't expect a gut punch from
Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
Especially
I'm not saying it's bad.
Especially not
I'm
for
just kind
Clerks
of
3. Yeah.
don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, same. I have a lot of conflicting
Yeah.
feelings about it, and overall, I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about it at the end of the day. I really don't. On one hand, there's things I like about it. On the other hand, I feel like he should have made something a bit more uplifting, at least in the end. I feel like he should have at least kept the original ending, like the original concept of the daughter surviving and Randall having to be like her adoptive father by the end of the film.
Right.
Because finally, at that moment, it gives Randall purpose. It gives him, something to strive for in life, and to actually give himself some real meaning
And,
in his life.
I know it's nitpicking, but I really liked that Dante could have something to look forward into life, and just having him die with,
Yeah.
I mean, for himself, nothing. He
Yeah.
he did have a best friend. He did have that. I mean, yeah, and it's sweet that he did all that stuff, but it's like his personal life was shit.
Yeah. Like to the bitter end, it was just like his life was just.
I mean,
one
friendship's great
tragedy.
and everything. I'm not trying to
Yeah, his
shit
life-
on friendship, but it's
his,
like
his life was just one tragedy after another. Yeah. No, No, I don't know. Yeah. Well. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add about Clerks 3? Baz? Oh, you're frozen. You're frozen. Oh no. Oh no, folks. I think we lost him. Oh shit. Well, shit. Well, okay. Well, I guess then, yep. Oh, wait. Are we back? Are you back? Are you back?
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
Technical
my-
difficulties, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. Your camera's not loading, but we can hear you. So, do you have anything you want to add about Clerks 3?
Said it was really dark. It was
Yeah.
a good movie, but I felt very disappointed that it went that way. But on the other hand, I guess I understand what he was going for.
Yep. Yes. Yes. I concur. Anyway, I believe we've reached the end of good old Kev Smith's career. Actually, he does have a new movie coming out. This at some point this year. I think it might be coming out this following month. Actually, the 4:30 movie. It's some movie. I think it takes place in the 80s. It stars his daughter's boyfriend, and I don't know. It's about him wanting to go to some movie at 4:30 in the afternoon with some girl, and I don't know. I don't really give a shit about it, to be honest. Like, I mean, it looks like another like movie that I'm like, you know, it's like I'll watch it when it comes out on streaming, but I'm not like chopping at the bits to rush
Right.
to the theater to see it. Yeah. So anyway, but with all that being said, nevertheless, Kevin Smith has still made some great films. Some, you know,
Nothing but love, Kevin.
yeah, nothing but love, brother. Nothing but love, especially coming from at least one fellow New Jersey, one other fellow Jersey boy. You know, I got nothing but love for you, brother. And you know, yeah, you know, I will always look at a lot of his films with fondness, and he will always still be one of my favorite writers and directors. One of my favorite filmmakers.
Yeah.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Well, hey.
I guess we made it through again.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? We got a short one tonight. We're just over an hour and a half. So we, you know, so this is our apology to you all for our long one last time. Yeah. Well, you know, we promised.
Batman has a bit longer.
Yeah, it has a bit more of an extensive history, but we promised to try to not go that long again. But yeah, no, we hope you all enjoyed tonight's episode. And I don't know, on that note, I'm going to say goodnight, everyone. Spaz, closing thoughts?
Go see Kevin Smith's movies. They're worth the watch at least once through. Even Yoga Hoosers, if you really want to.
No, I think you probably skip.
Nothing but love, guys.
Thank you. But yeah, nothing. Yeah,
Lots of love.
You probably skip Yoga Hosers. But yeah, nothing but love, everyone. All right, yeah. Good night, everybody.